Hello Cancer, and welcome to your February 2025 reading. So, as we begin the month, of course we had this very significant new moon in Aquarius just before we start the month, like maybe the day before or 2 days before. That probably opens the channels for us to start thinking about, our place in this world. What have I been growing? What I've been bringing to this life, to this society, to this world? What's my purpose? What's all of the Aquarius questions? And that can, put us in a certain mood of self-reflection. And so meditating on your energy, Cancer, I think that this kind of provokes something in you, because you come in the month with death and the Seven of Pentacles. And this is, Seven of Pentacles is a card of questioning, because he's looking at what he's invested until now. He's not done. You can see that he's got one dirty boot, one clean boot. And so he's halfway through, but he's looking at what he invested in, and he's all like, was it worth it? I'm getting a bit exhausted here. I'm kind of pushing. My wand is a shovel or a hoe. So it's not the, flying passion anymore. It's, chore work. I have to bullet through. And here I have death that comes and brings questioning of, okay, this will be no more, this is not me anymore, and so on. Okay, it brings transformation. And under that, I have here, and that's why I was talking about the Aquarius moon, because I have the star right under it with the moon. I mean, Gemini had a similar reading as this, and I make it a purpose to put the cards all differently and shovel for like 5 minutes before I pull for anybody else. But there you are. So I know that it's something that is kind of for your area of the sky, really bringing that up. So Aquarius water bearer, all about pouring away the water. That means the emotional background of the things I went through, a bit like the Scorpion card here, where, okay, let's go into the waters with a spiritual understanding and decipher what is going to be the harvest, what is going to be dying, and what I'm going to keep to plant next year. That's why it's in October, November. So here, pouring away the old water, seeing what comes up. And the card death and the moon, as you can see, the two sentinels, the two pillars in the background of this are in the background of the death card. Because usually when we start that quest, see, the path we'll have to pass where there's like mountains, and of course we have the wolf and the dog. So we'll have our animalistic side, one that is tamed and guiding, and the other one that is reacting and wild. And so which one are we going to listen to? And the sentinels will let us pass if we were able to let the lobster or the crab transform. And then we arrive at death, which will make the final cleaning. Okay, a bit when you meet a vulture as an animal in your meditations, it is a bit like the death card, because it's going to eat everything, and it won't let anything from the past come to the future. That's why it's a bird that represents huge changes in our lives. And this, for you, Cancer, I think it's a huge change. All there. all that realignment, bringing up the old, letting it die, observing this, ready to make decisions, and then realigning yourself with who you are in the first bang. So probably that new moon affected you pretty good. Then we have the Emperor, and with the Emperor I have the Ace of Wands and the Chariot, but they're in reverse. So all that transformation is probably going to be linked to your divine masculine. Okay, and here the Chariot will follow the 8-pointed star of the star card. He has it on his forehead. It's his aspiration that he follows. He doesn't need to control anything. He just needs to remain aimed and authentic to his aspiration. When it's like this, it's more going to be the, let's say, the will and the unconscious that are going to fight for where it's going. And here we need that spark, that energy, that direction that's going to give us direction. So here you're realizing, noticing something, but then you're like, well, what's my direction then? Something is preventing me to grasp my next direction. And probably you're going to end up in your head a little bit. Yes, but, yes, but. And so, of course, that makes the next direction or the next step suspended, because you're going to be all conflicted and you're going to be on the search of more, new, something else. And that is probably because this reversed Two of Swords that we had in Gemini also is going to become conscious. Okay, what are the two beliefs that I keep at the same time in my mind that is preventing me from having something clear and decisive here? Let's clarify this for you, my beautiful Cancers. I call upon the divine. I call upon the light. I call upon the Holy Spirit. Help me clarify this reading for Cancers for the month of February 2025. February 2025. Okay. So, death. Why is death there with the Seven of Pentacles? So we have the Nine of Wands in reverse, Six of Wands, a lot of fire, Three of Wands, and behind it Queen of Wands, bombarded by fire. We do have the full moon in Leo at the mid-month, so maybe you're starting to feel it also. There's this urge of, I don't want my fire to just be a shovel here. So this beginning of the month, this transformation is allowing you to have a certain acknowledgement of what you desire, what you want, of your worth. Like, I have nothing to prove or anything like that. So there's a beautiful insight here coming in. But at the same time, I'm protecting myself and I am blocking the flow of life when it comes to the fire, when it comes to the energy. And so it's almost like I know what I want, I know where I'm going, but I'm not ready to let it happen because I'm afraid of maybe how it's gonna happen. I'm blocking my receptivity. My energy is still unconsciously protecting me. Well, you're a Cancer, the shelf. So it's like if you've built this unconscious energetic shelf around you that is not opened to receive the energies of life, so life can start dancing with you, aligned with that aspiration here. Let's look at the star and the moon. Okay, that was quick. So, Empress, same for Gemini. 10 of Pentacle in reverse, same for Gemini. So, if you have like a, your ascendant or moon or whatever, Cancer, Gemini here, connections, it's very prominent. Okay, so here, my past, my last 10 years, my last 20 years, my bloodline karma, what was given to me through education or genes or whatever, and my capacity to create, to be loved and loved, my worth, my value, my connection to the stars. In order to be completely aligned with this, I think there's need to be a cleanup of the old cycle. Let's look at the Emperor. So I think you're one step after Gemini. Okay, so I have the Eight of Swords, but in reverse here. So the Emperor is not as efficient if he's yes but himself, okay? Or if he's trying too much to rationalize and understand things instead of being completely receptive. Here we have the word receptive again. We have the Tower. All right. So that means something is going to shake up this I better get out of my head thing. Let's look at the Chariot and the Ace of Wands. The World. So maybe what hasn't seen any results for a long time, what maybe was meant to die, to be transformed, you're going to realize the end of it. I have the World and I have the Pope. But maybe you're not ready to leave yet, which is what is going to happen here. But here it's in reverse. So I might be conscious of it, but I'm not ready to leave all of that water so that my fire can be free. My will can be free. But you have the understanding. The Pope is that discernment of very empowering masculine energy here. Emperor and the Pope. When they work together, they can accomplish anything. But the water has to back them up. And you're Cancer, so you cannot deny the water. Let's look at the Eight of Swords. Because if not, he's going to doubt. That's the yes, but. And that's why it still comes up there. So what you started at the beginning of the month, the ones of you that are able to really go through it right at the beginning, it won't come back at the end of the month here. What is in that water that needs to be purified so that I am not hindering myself when it comes to my willpower, fire, when it comes to my fire, when it comes to my worth and my value of yes, I can do that. So I can jump lightly, have the wisdom to do it. And here, Queen of Cups, she needs to back you up. And so I think that insight is going to say, okay, time to leave behind the old sorrows, sadnesses, limiting beliefs that prevent your heart from being in the sun and expanding, but that restrains it. And that's when you're going to get your wand. That's when you're going to get your direction. So, this is really yeah, it's a mastering of fire. But because the fire is just going to follow your truth, okay? A bit like electricity will follow the rod into the ground to ground it. So your fire, your soul, your spark, and all of that will follow what you believe, your truth. And when you don't have any confliction between what you want and what you believe, it's going to follow it and make it happen. You're going to have the energy and the guts to go and do it. But when there's a conflict between the two, then the fire will give life or energy to the unconscious belief and the conscious belief. So this is going to be facing where your fire is actually going. And here, since we know that a lot of it is used just to protect yourself out of lack of trust, maybe, the last decision to say, okay, I'm leaving this behind, is going to free up your fire to actually go in the direction of your aspiration. So I'm going to call this freeing your fire. Yeah, because that's it. It won't be pushed down by the unresolved waters. Freeing your fire. So on this, my beautiful Cancers, before I forget, last month I presented to you the book I wrote on tarot and the Tree of Life. So you're going to have the direct link under the video of the book at Amazon, right under the video. And of course on my website there's going to be also something there. Yes, thank you for watching. So if you're interested, I've worked really hard on this to bring the wisdom of the Tree of Life and the tarot together in a comprehensive way. So great tool for our journey into understanding ourselves and the world. So on this, thank you for watching, sharing, commenting, and all of that. If you want a private reading, of course, same thing, website, but Mystic Witch Tarot. And thank you for the ones of you who gave donations. It helps more than you think. New moon, full moon, I ask the divine to give you back in the shape that is the most beneficial for you. And of course, don't forget, at the end of the month, February 28th, we have the new moon in Pisces. So that's going to be another very interesting full moon. So on this, namaste, and I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.